Hey guys, today I'm going to be presenting my cave dungeon level, and immediately you're presented with the objective, and once entering the cave, you can see visually a goal up top. You can see the final boss with his much stronger, cooler looking weapon, and you know that that is the goal up there. And so to start with the level, um, I wanted this enemy to sort of have his back turned, giving the player an advantage over the other enemies below. So it immediately lets the player feel sort of powerful and that they have an advantage over these first enemies that you encounter. So taking out the enemies, and if you'll notice, once the player drops down, they can't get back up. So this is just a subtle sort of getting off the player, so they can't just exit back if they find themselves in trouble. And so, continuing on through the sort of cave, now the player doesn't have as much of an advantage against these enemies because it doesn't have like a higher point, um, and also there are just quite a few more. And this is just sort of an increasing level of challenge that I wanted to have throughout the level, just to gradually go up until um, there's a payoff towards the end. And so, making your way over towards this lighter area, you'll see that there's a drawbridge and sort of button, but in the top corner you need a lever. And so, having a look around, it's not in this direction, but within sort of this crumbling cave, there's a part that just fell out and broken this bridge, and that's sort of a little bit of visual storytelling as well as sort of another sort of light indicator that there is an extra area over here, and so the player can pick up this lever and make their way back over to this drawbridge. And again, to increase the challenge, there's still a wide space, but the you can potentially fall off of these areas, and an enemy also has a higher vantage point over you. Although the AI in the asset pack that I'm using doesn't have this sort of drop-down pathfinding, um, it still imposes that kind of threat that they can spot you first. Um, and that's just adds to sort of the expectation that this area is a little bit more difficult. And also, just the potential to fall off is just adds to the higher sense of danger that the player might have. And so, making your way up to the bridge that has collapsed, you might have noticed that there was a lever up top, and that allows the player to understand that that's the direction that they have to go, as well as it being one of the only paths that they haven't explored yet. Um, this also shows a clear cause and effect, so they know that that's the drawbridge that has been affected. If maybe there was like a secret path or something, it's a clear indicator that that's the direction that has been affected by using that lever. And so we've taken out this enemy. There's like a smaller area and more chance to fall off and sort of have to start over again. But the final area, even though it has a wider space, there are much tougher enemies and quite a few of them that just come for the player at the same time. And so you have a chance to go against the boss with the blue sort of glowing sword and the much bigger health. so it takes a little bit more to sort of whittle away his health. So once the player has defeated him, the sword starts to glow under this other area, crumbled area, and so the player can now get their weapon. And once they use it on the bad guys, it takes immediate effect and takes out the enemies with ease. And now that the player understands that that's where they started, and sort of so they can loop back around and follow down this area which they could not jump up beforehand. And this gives another last display of the player's upgrade, which is indicative of the whole sort of side quest area. It's just a minor upgrade that allows the player to take out enemies with a bit more ease. And that is the end of the level. The player can now exit the cave and continue with the larger journey. Thank you very much.